Good morning. Today is Monday, August 13th, and I pulled the cards for the week. And there's, at first glance, I have the Strength card, I have the Empress, I have the Sun, a Ten of Pentacles, Temperance, Judgment, the Four of Wands, the Nine of Cups, the Star, the Ten of Cups, and the Two of Cups. So just at a quick glance, there's a lot of happiness. There's a lot of unions, especially divine counterpart unions. Just looking at the cards, and the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands came out in the spread. To me, they both represent wisdom, intuition, self-mastery, connection to higher guidance, and also represents this month of August. So it looks like a lot of these things are going to happen imminently. So let's get started. Usually the first two cards represents theme. What are we talking about here? What is my guidance trying to tell me about this week? And the Queen of Wands to me is the divine feminine. And that's the first card that came out. This is a divine feminine that is live life. She has a lot of wisdom. She's self-assured. She has self-mastery, control of her emotions. A lot of she's intelligent, but uses intuition. Like, she has a logical mind, but she relies more on her intuition. She has a lot of higher guidance, and she knows how to connect to that. She's very connected to her higher self, and she has the power of manifestation. And the other card that came out with the Queen of Wands is the Devil. And I feel that this is a theme that's coming out, that what the divine feminine needs to do now is to be very cognizant of what kind of energy she's moving, to try to return as quickly to self-mastery and to harmony, conscious harmony. So that this is going to continue to play out in the sense that all of the fears, the programs that we've been living with up until now, of fear, of lack, of feeling. I'm not exactly sure where I left off because my alarm went off while I was recording this. So all the feelings that she's had of feeling of fear, of feeling lonely, of being afraid, of loss, sadness, grief, anything related to a divine counterpart, feelings that we've had of maybe wanting someone in our lives or thinking of someone. It's asking us to look at the thoughts, acknowledge what you're thinking, but it's asking us to make really big efforts to let go of them very quickly, as fast as we can, and return to harmony. We're going to get a lot of help to do this. It's not just asking us to do it, but we're being assisted energetically, cosmically, to be able to stop letting go of the constant thinking of the past and regrets, sadness, grief, anything that has happened, and really allowing us to sit like the Queen in a beautiful, harmonious place. Because from there is where us as divine feminines were able to create. So the next card is Strength. So the Strength, again, is telling us to have the courage and the strength to move forward in everything that we've wanted to do, to have confidence. It shows a beautiful maiden, and she's petting a lion. So basically it's saying that with strength and courage, but gentleness, we can actually move forward in life. It doesn't require us to be aggressive. It's allowing us to be inner feminine and yet very effective in life. And it's also a big, this is like the Leo the lion, right? Like this is also about August. Very big about August this month. And then the next card is the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords, I believe, is what a lot of us have been trying to do. We've been trying to come to a safe place emotionally. A lot of us have children, and we adore our family. We love our family, and through everything that we've been through, we also have wanted to protect them, to bring them to a safe place, to bring ourselves to a safe place. So the energy that's coming in is going to allow us to finally feel that we've arrived at that place of being able to take care of our children, to shelter them, to love them, and to feel safe ourselves, within ourselves. And then the Seven of Pentacles is next, and it's acknowledging our efforts. It's showing a farmer having gathered his crops, and is showing a bountiful crop. So it's telling us that we will now be able to harvest all the efforts that we've made in the past, and that it's not just about gathering it; it's financial. It's the reaping of financial results from anything that we've done in the past. And part of it, I guess, as women, especially if you're single and have families, this is an important part for us. We need to feel that we can have that confidence that we can support ourselves and our families. And then the last card of this line is the Empress. And the Empress is exactly what we're going to embody. This is a woman who has abundance in all things. She's wearing not only a crown of stars, which means she's connected to her guidance. She knows who she is. She has self-mastery. She's wearing a crown of victory, which means that after everything she's been through, she can now really enjoy the beauty and the joy of what life has to bring. And the next card after that, which I'll talk about in a moment, is the Four of Swords, which is really saying you can rest. It's a time that after a long battle of trying to figure things out, you actually can sit in a place of rest and enjoy your victory. So the Empress is about abundance in love, abundance in finances. Nature is telling us to return to nature, to really allow ourselves to see the beauty in life while we, when we're not thinking of all the things that we're lacking, the devil, the grief, the sorrow, the regrets. And when we are able to return to conscious harmony, like the Queen of Wands, then you could be in the Empress. So it's telling us to make these efforts so that you could actually really rest after a long battle and feel the abundance of life. And after the Four of Swords, which is about resting after a long battle, there is the Sun. So here again, the Sun is about the return to childhood wonder. There's a victory flag. The sun is bright and shining. The sunflowers are up and about, facing the sun. Well, they're actually facing us, but I guess if in reality they would be facing the sun. So it's telling us to connect to your higher guidance, take in the sun, and do things that make you joyful. There is a sense of a new beginnings, and then followed what follows the sun is the Ten of Pentacles. And I love this card. The Ten of Pentacles shows several generations. Children are in the photograph. There's a couple in love. There's a grandparent. There are dogs. There's a lot of abundance. There's a castle. So this is about abundance in family, finances, coming together with loved ones in a lot of abundance. So I see it as gathering of oversoul groups, soul families, friendships, divine counterparts. It's going to be a lot of unions. Pay attention to the people who are coming into your life that are new and re-entering your life from the past. These are going to be key people that are going to be playing a role in your life. And it's going to help you move into this abundance, this great sense of happiness and gatherings of people. And the next card is the Judgment card, which for me, it's like the Great Awakening. It's like there's an angel blowing its horn, and everyone's awakening. And basically, this is what's happening. They're cosmically, we have a lot of energy that's assisting us to break down old programs and to really step into a whole different way of being in life. It's assisting us in being in life connected to our higher selves, to our divine guidance, in harmony, without fear, and actually moving into what we are supposed to be doing. We need to start to really figure out what we love and do that. Awaken and go towards what you love. It's no longer about having to do things and feeling heavy about waking up every morning. It's about waking up every morning and loving what you do and just being happy to get up and do what you do. And then the next card is Temperance. And Temperance, again, another angel. Temperance is part of self-mastery. It's not only about saying, the advice from Temperance is, there's a lot of higher guidance, so pay attention. Flow with life. Flow, 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 flow. Pay attention. There's a lot of higher help, and things that are happening to you, whatever's coming up is not coincidental. It's synchronistic. It has divine order in it, and it's coming to us to guide us towards our destiny. What is it that we're supposed to do? She's this beautiful angel has is connected to her emotions, and she's able to temper it with her logic. And that's really important right now, to be able to have self-mastery over our emotions, not to go off on a tangent on things without having the ability to have self-observation. You need to self-observe yourself enough so that when you start to go into the old programs that come up with the devil, which is anything that triggers you, Temperance is saying to you, you need to pull it in, and you need to return to harmony as soon as you can, because the next card is the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is all about mastery over emotions. She's calm, she's cool, she's collected, she's loving, and she's gentle, and she's kind. It's not about coldness. It's about warmth and love and beauty and emotional mastery. And that's what Temperance is trying to tell us. We need to be like the Queen of Cups, that we know who we are. We know we're loving and gentle, and just be able to return to that state as quickly as we can. And the next card is the Seven of Wands, which means that we either need to take a stand in reference to something in our lives. Whatever is taking us out of the state of the Queen of Wands, which is self-mastery and connection to our higher guidance, or the Queen of Cups, it means that we need to start to take a stand for ourselves. Or there might be something that we're hoping that someone else takes a stand. But I see it as us needing to be able to choose. You need to choose yourself in some situations. If it means that you can return to a state of harmony. A lot of times people come into your life, or there's people in your life that constantly pull you down, and you might have to take a stand and say, do I really want to, at this time when I'm trying to integrate with my higher self, do I really want to have to fight some of the lower energy unnecessarily? So just watch whose phone calls are you taking, what are you watching on television, what are you listening to. The news can be very negative and keeps us in these horrible programs of negativity. There's nothing, I never watch the news. I know that that's probably terrible at some level not to know what's going on, but I haven't done it in so many years, and usually when something big happens, I find out anyway because people talk about it, and otherwise I really don't think I've missed anything. Not knowing what certain people are doing out there, especially on the world stage. So be very cautious and stand up for your inner world. Is I think that's what it's saying. Stand up for your inner world and your state. What are you allowing yourself to be exposed to, and who are you allowing yourself to be exposed to? And then the Two of Pentacles came up after, and it's funny because I usually will say, well, this is about managing multiple projects and keeping them afloat. But I also feel like this is about because of the water in the background and the rocky seas and the man standing on one foot balancing his life. I feel like this is what we're doing, really. It's for this month of August, it's about navigating the emotional waters and staying afloat and balanced and in harmony. That's what it means to me in this spread. It's about being able to balance all the things that come towards us and to stay in a state of harmony. And then again, like for me specifically, I have a lot of projects I'm working on, and it could also mean to pay attention to what I'm doing, how much I'm doing, and to keep myself in a state of balance in terms of my projects and how they relate to finances. And then the next row, it's like I always look at these and I think people must think that I'm like purposely pulling these cards, but is the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands it looks like a chuppah. It looks like a marriage, wedding, unions, celebration. So I think that there's going to be a lot of opportunities to meet a divine counterpart if you're not in a relationship. This could be the unions with a divine counterpart from the past, or a new love interest. It could be either or. Or if you're already in a relationship, your relationship is going to get deeper. There might be proposals because it's a chuppah. Possibility of being asked to go to the next level in a relationship. And followed by this is the Nine of Cups. This is about happiness, lots of happiness. The cup floweth over, sensation in all, finances, emotions, just a all around happy card. And following the Chuppah, and then following that is the star, which means everything that's happening is by design. Is divinely guided. And again, this is a maiden that is has 2 jars of water. One is being poured into a pond or a lake, and the other one's being poured on the earth. So it's telling you to be connected to both. It's important to have a balance between the logical mind and the emotions, between to listen to your intuition. There's higher guidance. The stars is we're getting a lot of higher help, and it's about balance, connecting to our higher selves, and it's about flowing. Again, pay attention, because we got the same card with Temperance telling us to pay attention, to stay in balance, to look at the signs, and to realize that what's coming to you this month is going to be a lot of synchronicities that are meant for you. A lot of synchronicities. And then following the star is the King of Wands. And I see this, since I see this reading a lot, it was talking a lot about the divine feminine, and that's not that's not gender based. It's the energy we move. Some men move more feminine energy than they do masculine energy. It's just, that I also see that some of the some men who have moved very strong masculine energy are actually tapping into their divine feminine. Are becoming more balanced in their feminine. So this could relate in that way also. But the King of Wands came up after the star, and for me, this is again emphasizing this month of August that's coming up. It's also saying that the divine masculine is entering that space of self-mastery, of connecting to his higher guidance. He's starting to, he's able to be this as well. Like the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands, the divine masculine is intuitive. He's self-assured. He's connected to his higher guidance. This is also for the feminines to understand, like I said before, about the masculine. The divine feminine also needs to balance herself between her feminine and her masculine. So this is reminding us that we move both energies and they need to be in balance. And, okay, so the next card is the High Priestess. And I believe this is a time, it's telling us that to pay attention, meditate, connect to our higher guidance. It's telling us we have the wisdom already. We have mastery over the duality in life. To pay attention to our dreams. Our dream state is very important right now. That there's also, I feel that there's the High Priestess also represents what we've been doing, I believe, when I see it in the spread, meaning that a lot of us have gone into our inner world. We have been connecting to our guidance. We've been, some of us single, not all of us, but some of us single, and resting in that place of really self-mastery and gathering ourselves and listening to our guidance in a way that we've never had before. And the next card is the Four of Cups, which is, I think, that sense of some of us having, since this whole spread seems to be about relationships, In the way this card has landed in the spread, I feel like we've been sort of bored about the relationships that we're in, or we're bored about the relationships we've had in the past. They haven't been satisfied. We haven't been satisfied, and but it's also telling us that there is something coming to pay attention. Like, while we're sitting there saying, oh, like I've heard some of the women that I know say something like, I'll never meet anybody, there'll be nobody out there, and there's a hand coming out of the sky showing this young man a cup, which means that we're going to be shown something, but we can't be in that state of, oh, I'll never meet anybody, because we are going to meet somebody. And if it's about relationships that you're in already and they're not, you don't feel fulfilled in it, it's kind of showing that to you. But the next card is the Death card, which is the end of that, right? Like, it's no longer about being single, and it's now no longer about being bored and unfulfilled. There's an end of that feeling of living a single life, or living in relationships that are unfulfilling. And then following that is the Ten of Cups, which we have. It's about family. I mean, you look at the picture, it's a couple, children, a home. There's plenty of water, there's trees and grass. It's a rainbow. And it's about happiness and being able to finally enter. It just sounds like a fairy tale, right? Like, I look at the cards and I'm like, okay. And then the last card is the Two of Cups. Divine union, divine counterpart, twin flames, soulmate. There is going to be many unions. And then if you look at the angel, it's the face of a lion. So again, this is this month. At least, I believe, if it doesn't happen in August, it's going to be, if it doesn't happen in August, it's you're going to meet someone in this month. So something's going to get triggered, someone you're going to meet, someone's going to contact you that eventually down the line is going to be your divine counterpart. May this be true for many of us who are single and really are looking for that one person in our lives that could help us stay in the higher states, that understands energy, that can help us manifest. Because I feel like if we're in the right union with somebody, we could soar. We could really soar. And so I hope this reading is giving you hope. And I'll try to do another reading in the middle of the week to see what else comes up. Because I've been getting these for myself also. Like, I've been throwing the cards. A lot of the same cards come up for me personally. And I feel like the message for the month of August is, it's about really starting to get on the path of what the next chapter of our life is going to look like, or maybe the next book, the next part of our journey about finally finding who we are, going into a path of doing what we love and meeting our divine counterpart. I hope this helps. Love you. And we'll reconnect later in the week.